Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. We would like to wholeheartedly welcome each one of you for the 114th session of the Deccan Positive Mental Health Group. And this is on behalf of the different organizers, Manasa Shubhakara Mindcare Hyderabad, Yolupon Counseling Center India, Forest Creative Arts Studio Punjab, Sri Deepthi Counseling Center Hyderabad, Global Learning Center Hyderabad, Srisha Counseling Center Kozhikode, and the Mindstyle Hub of Kolkata. And today we have our honorable resource person, and very happy to welcome Mr. Ram Shankar Bose, sir, who is a software professional with a passion towards counseling, psychotherapy, social work, yoga therapy, and natural remedies like acupressure therapy, herbal remedies, Verma, flower remedies, etc. He has completed his psychological internships from the Institute of Mental Health in Chennai and SCARF, Schizophrenia Research Foundation. He was a Go Tamil Nadu volunteer for the Banyan during COVID times. He is conducting mental health and awareness programs and social activities in schools and in industries. He holds a membership in the Counselor Council of India, CCI, and the traditional Siddha Varma Vaidya Sangam. And with that very short introduction, I would like to welcome our honorable resource person, and he would be speaking on a very interesting topic, Merkmal of mentally healthy individuals. Happy to have you here, sir, and the floor is yours. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone.
Welcome, sir.
So today's mental health topic, what we are going to see is Merkmal of mentally healthy individuals. Okay, so before that, I want to ask you, how are you all? Okay. So what is the answer? How are you all? How are you doing? Good.
Yeah, we are all fine, sir. Thank you. And what about you, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm also very fine. Thank you. So let's get into the topic. So mental health, when we talk about the health, mental health plays an important role. So we used to say there is no health without mental health, right? Give me a minute. Okay. So what is the meaning of Merkmal of mentally healthy individuals? So mental health, everyone knows, right? And what is the meaning of Merkmal? Any guesses? People might be interested to understand what is the meaning of that. Ideally, that is not a pure English word.
Merkmal means quality, yeah?
Okay, you can say.
I don't want to answer those because I have already confused.
That's okay. It's okay, sir. Okay, fine. So Merkmal is nothing but a trait or characteristics or a factor or quality or distinguishing mark, distinguishing quality of mentally healthy individual. That is the meaning of Merkmal. Okay, so it is a word, German word. It is used in scientific journals. So I just that for our topic. So we are going to see this topic. Okay. So when we talk about health, right? So as I said earlier, mental health is the primary part of it. Without mental health, there is no health. So in other words, we can say health comprises both physical health and mental health. Also, we can say there is impact in the physical health. There is an impact to the mental health, right? And vice versa. So this is the fact accepted worldwide. Okay. So health, we can see a lot of categories. We can say physical health, mental health, social health, emotional health, like that, right? Okay. So broadly, we can say physical health and mental health. So in mental health, how a person could have a good mental health. So what are the factors, parameters, or the boundaries that a person could have if he wants to be mentally healthy, right? So those things we know already. Many of us, any mental health professional will be knowing all these things already. So what is the point of here in this platform who are this one where we have already a bunch of mental health professionals, right? Counselors and psychiatrists and others, right? So the thing is, we'll put together the points, parameters. It's a kind of review or a kind of revision of all those points put together, and we will discuss. If there are any clarifications, we will discuss further on that. Okay. So now this is nothing. Merkmal is nothing but distinguishing mark. Okay. We'll continue. So on mental health. So what are all different words that come across your mind when we talk about mental health? So, or can someone define what is mental health? Maybe based on this small picture. Can someone define, give a line about a short description, short uh, one line explanation about mental health?
Emotional well-being. So when one is able to think positively, have one has mindfulness and a feeling of gratitude.
Okay.
That is the positive mental health.
Okay.
So you're able to cope up with problems of daily living. You're able to face a lot of challenges in your life.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So we'll jump into that. Okay. So what we are going to see here is what is the health and the meaning and interpretation of health. What are the meaning of mental health and definition? A brief history about the psychology, evolution, and the factors contributing to good mental health. What is ill mental health, and how can what are the good characteristics of a good mentally healthy individual, and some inventories to understand or evaluate the mental health in matters. So that's what we are going to see. Let's get into further. Okay. So health, as I said, right. So it's comprising both physical health and mental health. And mental health, when we talk about, see, everyone's feeling is different, and every person is unique. Meaning, um, from the characters what they possess, right? So one the point which is good to me may not be looking good to you, right? Similarly, a food what I like that may not be liked by you, that may not be liked by other persons. Similarly, it goes on, right? So having said that, so how complex is to define what is a mental health. So all these things are mind related. So what I feel in the brain, right? So that evaluates to the mental health. So then how we can say about mental health? So it is very difficult, but it is something different to each person. It is a person, the individual differences are there, but even then among these differences, we have to define what is good mental health. We'll move on. So it is simply put, it is a state of mental well-being, both from the cognitive and emotional perspective, right? Okay. So meaning in a positive psychology standpoint, how we can say is it is a cognitive or emotional well-being, or it is an absence of the mental disorder, right? This is what positive psychology says. And on the other hand, we can see we can say that it is the ability of an individual to live an enjoyable life, to enjoy the life, right? And to establish a balance between the life activities and what the efforts he makes to achieve goals in his life, and also to face problems and to come back from the stresses or struggles in his life. That is resilience, right? So that is called mental health. So it is the ability to enjoy life amongst all these factors. Okay. So what World Health Organization (WHO) says is it is not only just an absence of mental illness, but also how people cope with normal stresses they face in their daily life. So when a person starts his day from the morning, right, and till the end, when he goes to till he goes to the bed for sleep. So between these duration, everyone is facing lot of stresses, but at the end of the day, they have to sleep well. So they come across problems, joyful moments, everything, plus and minuses, everything they come across in their daily life. But if there are many major incidents happen, how they cope up with those things and converts into a positive thing to lead a successful life, without taking any wrong decisions or without leading into a wrong life, right? So how positively they are coping up, that is what the mental health is. Okay, so we know, like in the universe, right? There are 1 lakh plus creatures in the world. So one person wants to dominate, survive, and achieve things over other people, and they possess ego, giving care, and many qualities, right? But at the same time, we can see other people who are having, no interest to work, no want of living life, always taking they don't do work at all. They want take help from others always. So people are from both the extremes. In such a case, we tend to think seeking help is weakness or good. So this again depends on the situation where how the help is short, right? We'll see that later. Okay, so we'll see a brief about the history of psychological evolution or the mental health in this perspective. Okay, so if we start from Indian psychology or Eastern psychology, here we cannot forget important text about the psychiatric nursing, psychiatric care, psychiatric treatments that were provided so many thousands of years before, that were from Ayurvedic text. And from South India we can say like Thiruvalluvar, who is the author of Tirukkural, who mentioned about the mind health, mental health, right? So just a verse from his book is in Tamil. It say Mananalam Mannuyir Kakam Inanalam Ella Pukalam Taram. So this is a choral which means mental health helps to keep us in peace, devoid of disturbances, and it creates wealth, creates productivity, right? Uh, this is one point. On the other hand, the working towards people or working well for the wellness of the people, that gives popularity and fame. So mental health gives wealth, and who are caring for people, for their group of people or particular group of people, right? So those people will get political fame. So that's what the meaning of this particular verse. So how? So that point of time itself, people are much aware about the mental health. Okay, this is what we can understand from this particular point. Okay, and when we go to the Western world, ancient Greece and Rome, they have clear evidences for the mental health in the earlier ages. And during Middle Ages, we see hospitals known as Bimaristans, which were built throughout the Arab countries. Okay, the first one was found in Baghdad. Okay, so similarly, we can see in the during 13th century in London, there was built the Bethlehem Royal Hospital, which was very famous one. This was one of the oldest lunatic asylums. So asylum, right? So people who are mentally sick, those people were put into one area, and during that times the awareness was not much. They tend to think that is a big problem, or they don't understand about that at all. They just do not have much knowledge. What is that? They simply thought of they avoiding those people, and those people put together into some hostel kind of thing. So that is called asylum. So lunatic asylum means mentally ill health people's asylums. So that was started in London during 13th century. And when we during the going further on the ages, like people were philosophers like Socrates and other people, they got some insights during with the thought process and other discussions. So they had a kind of enlightenment, and the people, the overall attitude towards the mental illness got changed. So they try to understand that how they understand as the physical disorder like fever or a wound in the body. They tend to understand that as a mental illness. So that's where the point starts for the mental health, right? So during that time, English physician William Batty, he wrote in his book treatise on madness. So for a treatment of the mental disorder. So that's how the starting of the understanding, and they provided importance to the mental illness, and they started giving support in the history. They started giving rehabilitation as well. Okay, so uh, George III King was suffering from a mental disorder during 1789, right? So then people started understanding the kind of mental illness can be treated and cured. So they got hope. So mental illness is just nothing but similar to a physical illness, and that can be cured. They started to understand. And we have Dorothea Dix, psychologist. Actually, she was a school teacher, and she was a social worker, right? So she behaved as a social mental reformer during that period. And Brownie was also assisting, and he was an influential reformer in with her. And Philip Pinel, who started with a moral treatment. So what in the asylums, they what they used to have is handcuffs. They have just like in jail people will be having, right? So like that, these mental ill health people were tied with the handcuffs, right? So he wanted to remove all the chains and all these things in the Paris asylum that was for insane women. So that one, he behaved as he provided a moral treatment. Okay. We know there are along with these things during that period, we have the schools of psychology, different schools of psychology arose, like structuralism, functionalism, behaviorism, gestalt psychology, all those things started. And William Wundt, the father of modern psychology, we know, right? So they put their thought process, and they provided experimental psychology lab. So all those things started during that period. Okay, so what is the trend in modern uh, mental health? Okay, so the recent trends is during the COVID, and after that, the telemental health started gaining value. Okay, so people who are mentally ill, or having a little bit of mental health problem, they will be sitting in the remote place, and doctors or the counselors will be sitting in the remote place, and they will be able to assist. They are able to provide the counseling and other things that started developing. And along with that, you can say a lot of work from home concepts came, and family life and work life, it became a blend, right? So work life balance became still more challenge. So people who go to work, they tend to forget the family, and they work well, and they, after coming back, they reach home, they forget the work, and they will enjoy the family, or they will do the family related work, right? So that was kind of balance one. Now it has become a blend, and it is really a challenging one. At the same time, there are plus also. People know that, right? So we will be able to do some important family work even during the office hours with a kind of permissions, and that work can be done in the evening hours and other things. So this is a plus. At the same time, if work becomes a stress, then it becomes a more work pressure. So that is also there. So it is becoming much important for the individuals who are doing adopting this kind of work-life blend, right? They have to take much care in practicing with the good lifestyle modifications. Okay. Then virtual learning and virtual reality concepts are used in treating the mental health clients. Okay, so we'll move on. So anyone can quickly say what is the World Mental Health Day?
October 10th, sir.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is October 10th is World Mental Health Day. This is witnessed to create awareness, and to promote the importance of the mental health in the world society, right? Okay. So it is good that every person in this platform, right? We can use that today and provide some kind of mental health awareness to the society. It will be of much helpful to the world community. Okay. Right. So we'll come to the fathers of modern psychology. So there are a lot of branches in psychology, and based on that, we can say different, pioneers and fathers. Right. So William James is American psychologist, and written the book Principles of Psychology. And Sigmund Freud is another important psychoanalyst. He's father of psychoanalysis, and like that many people are there with different psychology domains. We'll move on. Edward Dondrik is another important psychologist who is considered a father of modern education psychology. His research on learning process helped to establish the foundation for the educational psychology. Okay, so like that many persons came towards the improvement of the psychological uh, thing. Okay, so now we'll move on. There is cognitive psychology, clinical psychology, and personality psychology. So all these things are there. Okay, now seeking help is weakness or good. So how it's one way it is weakness, and other way it is good. Can someone say how it is weak and how it is good? In what way it can be considered a weakness, and in what way it is good?
So, seeking any kind of professional help from a counselor, it is definitely good because you're able to recognize you've made an effort to actually solve your problems, but then something has not worked and failed. So that is why you're approaching a professional counselor for help. And that person with all the knowledge and skills would be in a better position to help you.
Okay, thank
I
you.
think it is a good thing to seek help, sir.
Sorry.
It is a good indication to seek help. That means you want to solve your problems.
Okay.
So one also gets social support from the friends and family, and then one can cope with adversities easily.
Okay.
So it's better to have some help.
Okay. Cool. Thank you all. So help. So what? How we can the better answer goes like this. We can say so. Not only from mental health or health perspective. Generally, if someone is asking help for anything, right? What is the meaning of it? Help means what? Something that if I ask for a help, something that I cannot do at that moment of time, right? That means I need some help. Someone can assist me in doing something or in getting something, right? That is help. And apart from this, anything else is different, right? That is so the point what I said, if we seek any kind of support for something that we cannot do, and if I feel so, then that is very much important. That is good. And on all the other things, means like a person may be laziness, who may not want to do work at all, may not want to do even basic things. So those are all becomes the weakness. So but from a psychological point of view, as a counselors, what we can think is seeking help is good thing. Whenever you feel you cannot do something, you want help, don't hesitate, and don't hesitate to ask for help. Help is a good thing only. That's what the meaning is. So it is considered the meaning of the sign of strength only, not the weakness. Okay. So the overall definition we can see simply like this: a state of well-being in which the extent people who are able to cope with the normal stresses in their daily life. That is the simple definition we can take. Okay, what are the different factors contributing mental health? Spirituality, work and leisure, friendship, love, self-directions. Okay, so here spirituality, how spirituality comes into picture here. Okay, the person who is spiritual. So what will be his mental status? You can think. The spirituality, what are the basic pillars of that? The person who is in spirituality, his thought process might be little bit different from the other common man, right? Okay, the person who is spiritually practicing something well, like simple kind of a prayer or kind of meditation and other things, right? So what happens? He puts all the negative things into the ground, maybe by some means. That's what the underlying factor which helps in the maintaining good health, good mental health with the spirituality, right? Okay. Work and leisure. What work is, whenever we do work, that is kind of pressure only. It should be a positive pressure. That's okay. But when we want to do achieve things in the work, we have to work hard. But at the same time, that should not become a pressure, and that should not become a negative thing. So for that, what we have to do, we have to have a balanced thing. So work and life balance should be there. And as I said earlier, these days the work and life became a blended one. Work life integration, we can say. Instead of balance, it became integration. So in this era, we have to be much, take care much about the mental health and the lifestyle changes we have to do. And only we can adapt to this kind of situation. Okay. Then friendship. Why friendship is important here? Whatever the good or bad you are sharing, you have a helping hand. You have a shoulder to share your feelings, emotional feelings. So thereby, all your problems from your shoulder is distributed, right? So then you become very easy. So that's how the mental health is maintained here. And love and self-direction. So these are other factors. Okay. The other factors, what we can say, sense of worth. A person should have, positive qualities. He should be able to, understand the self, and he should be able to recognize the positive qualities. He should be able to understand the worth of the self. Okay. Then the person should have the freedom and autonomy. He should be able to take decisions by self, and he should be a realistic belief. He should have uh, the easily achievable goals as a future plan. And say for example, a student, consider a student, a person, the student is an average student who can score around 70 marks. Okay, so if he wants to achieve more, he can do hard work. So if he does a hard work, he can easily get 80 and a little more 90. Okay, but if he sets a goal to 100, he can get much, even beyond 90. That's true. But if he sets a goal, and if he's to 100, and if he's not getting 100, if he gets 96, and if he gets depressed, that is a bad belief. So what the person should have is a realistic belief. He has to work very hard to achieve the best, like getting 90 and all. And once he achieves, he should be much happy about it. Then he can attempt for the next level. So that's how the realistic beliefs one person should have. And emotional awareness and coping. The person should be able to understand the sense and the emotional intelligence of the self, and also how to cope with others, and also how to make others to cope with us. So these are important points which are contributing to the mental health. And problem solving and capability. This problem solving and creativity plays an important role in the mental health calculation. So how? Suppose we can see a lot of competitive exams like IAS exam and all. People, the questions will be from the problem solving and creativity. So why? So people who are having good problem solving skills, they will be able to do the administration well. The ad hoc life situations, the problem handling capability will be much for people who are having good problem solving skills, right? So all those things are related to mental health. Okay, sense of humor, that also plays a important role here. Okay. Other factors like nutrition, exercise, self-care, stress management. What are the different stress management techniques what we follow? Then gender identity, cultural identity. Cultural identity means the ethnicity, religion. So those things people should be aware of the self. Okay, coming to nutrition, um, people can have some good food which are helping the good mental health. So what are the things? So as I am aware of from the traditional point of view, I know few food which can be helpful for the mental health. So one is walnut, right? And another one is ashwagandha, we can say, and vallare, which is nothing but Central Asiatica, the scientific name. That greens we can have daily. Then white lotus. So these things, if we take it now and then, this will certainly contribute to the brain health. Okay, that people who are in this platform at least make a note of this, and uh, maybe every day any one of these if we consume, this will certainly assist our mental health. Okay, similarly these can be proposed to the clients also. This will indirectly help, and these are not medicines, these are just food habits which will certainly aid the good mental health. Okay, exercise, no need to say. We the physical health is important, that will lead to the good mental health. All the chemicals, see, we know that any mental health problem is due to the chemical imbalance in the brain, right? So those balances can be achieved to some extent through physical exercises. So physical exercise is very much important here. Okay, resilience. So when we talk about mental health, any seminar or any presentation which is coming with mental health, and if that is missing resilience, that is certainly a miss. Because mental health altogether, when we put together, it is a simple thing that concludes everything. Meaning, it is the ability to come back from an adverse effect, adverse negative thing. From that, if we are able to what extent or what time or within what duration we are able to come back to the normal life from a setback, right? So that measures the resilience, that measures the mental health. If you are able to quickly retrieve from a problem, right, then it is very good for the overall life. Okay, so the resilience is very much important. It is a psychological concept where we face a life challenge, and we should be able to come back. Say example, maybe loss of a loved one, or failure of a particular exam, and incidents like that. This may come across in life. That is very common. But we are human beings. We will be certainly having worry and all. But to what extent we will be having? How soon we can come back from those setbacks? So that is very much important. So resilience is a very much important factor which is considered towards the mental health. Okay, now we will see what is ill mental health. Okay, how the behavior may be. Generally, like extreme mood swings will be there. Like kind of bipolar people will be having sometimes very happy and sometimes very sad. So highs and lows will be there. Okay, they try to isolate themselves from the society, themselves from their friends and circle, families. Okay, they tend to they look always tired. They won't do even daily activities. They won't take bath and daily activities. They will lack. They will sleep more, or they will not sleep at all. So and they want to be. They will be talking to themselves. They will be living in a unreal world, right? So they in a hallucination kind of thing. They will be in. They will not be they will not be in a realistic world. So these are all some symptoms of a mental health person. Okay. Now we will slightly getting into the actual topic, the qualities or the characteristics of the mental health person. So before that, we'll see like how will you identify or distinguish a person from others with respect to a mental health, whether he is a mentally healthy individual or not. Suppose a person who is coming near to your house. He stays for more than a month, and maybe your relative comes to your house and he's asking about how is that person. So what will you say? how will you tell about that particular person to your relative? You got it right. There is a neighbor who comes to your area and residing recently uh, for a month. So he is staying just for 1 month, and by that time, your relative comes to your home and he is asking about, he is inquiring about that particular person. How is that person? So what will you say about? What will you comment about him? And how we will, based on what factors you will comment, you will tell about him? Any thoughts? There are some factors that we can say based on which we will comment. So he's good or bad or whatever. No comments?
Mahesh, sir, you may go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
I think Mahesh sir raised his hand.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're audible.
Sir, I feel whether he is social or no, how he communicates with others,
Okay.
whether he is introvert, whether he is extrovert,
Okay.
whether he is humble, whether he is having kindness, how is his responsibility towards society,
Okay.
how is his like intrapersonal relation, like that we can assess.
Okay. Excellent, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
So important
Thank you.
point you covered. So what we will see simply during this 1 month time, the person or the neighbor who comes to stay, right? So that person, how he behaves during that 1 month, how he interacts with the neighbors, how he talks, how and what is the mode of living, and what is the personality characteristics, like what sir said, like how he is social, how he is kind, how he is moving with others. So all those things contribute to the person's overall, comment about the mental health, we can say, right? So the behavior is very much important. Okay. Now,
Pruta, sir, I think Pruta wants to share something. Pruta?
yes, please.
Yeah, I also wanted to add to that the physical appearance of the person, also how that person is managing his or her own hygiene and all that also matters. We are
Yes.
just going on a mental side, but on the communication skills, but also we can recognize from the way they are taking care of
How
themselves
they
also.
appear. Yeah, exactly. Right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Uh, so now the Merkmal characteristics of mentally healthy person. The first point, what is listed is know thyself, right? The person who is mentally healthy will certainly be aware of himself, right? At least not 100% to the maximum extent possible. So this we can correlate with what Socrates said, right? Socrates only said know yourself. So he put all the psychological points together and put in simply simple words like know yourself. That's all. Everything is solved. So that's what Socrates says. So we know that psychology comes from the philosophical point of view in the earlier days, right? Okay. So it's very much important that a mentally healthy person will be certainly knowing himself or herself. Okay. The strength and weakness of the self should be known. Then only it will be easy for us to move or take action for a particular. We can respond in a for a particular stimuli. Okay. So with respect to this, how we can evaluate, or how I can know about myself, or how I can handle a particular situation. For that, we have something called scientifically proven SWOT analysis tool. So this is predominantly mentioned in the management theory and practice, where a particular problem can be easily put in a paper, and that can be evaluated and assessed, and that can be converted into positive points to achieve a particular goal. Okay. The same thing can be applied for any kind of life situations what we face or our client face. Okay. Let's see. So SWOT is nothing but strength, weakness, and opportunity and threat. So how we can do a simple slide I have, we'll see. So this is SWOT table we can say, where there are 4 boxes primarily. This strength, this is strength box, weakness box, opportunities, and threat boxes. Okay, so if you see, for a particular problem or for a particular thing I want to say, for example, I want to start a business, we can say, even any kind of thing, but I'm just taking one example. I want to take a particular business in a particular area. So now I have to fill this table. How I can fill? So what are all the strength for that? Okay, so I have this much fund. This area, that particular market is available. So like that. Okay, so what is the population over there? It is advantages to me or not? So those things. So similarly, weakness and similarly opportunities and the threat. Okay, so all these points if we fill in, and when we do analysis, we have to convert the weakness into strength and the threats into opportunities. Thereby, it will be easy for us to make a decision whether to go with that particular thing or not. Okay, so here, if you look at this, this will be useful for people who are new to this SWOT analysis. I will simply mention just 2 points. So one is like, if you see the horizontal row, strength and weakness, these are all internal origin. So these are coming from this self, strength and weakness. This is that are controllable within our hands. We can convert. So it is very much easy to convert the weakness into strength by making some actions. Okay, and coming to the next one, that opportunities and threats which are external origin, which are not much in our control. Okay, so in that situation, how we can handle that needs to be analyzed. And coming to the vertical rows, vertical column, right? So there, the strength and the opportunities which are plus to our decision, and weakness and threat, the right side, which are harmful, which are negative, which are not advisable. So if we have the right side column, weakness and threat have more points and more weightages, then it is better not to go. And if we have strength and opportunities more and weakness and threat are less, we are very much allowed to take the go ahead on that particular problem or situation, right? So this is how simple analysis that we can follow. We'll move on. Okay, so the next important characteristics of a mental healthy person is task selection. A mentally healthy person will generally try to take a challenging task, but at the same time that can be achievable. That will not be too much difficult. Okay, at the same time he will not select too much easy. So an optimal one person will select. That kind of task selection we can see. And adjustments. The person who is able to adjustment to the situations, circumstances, environment. So all those things are matter for define the mental health of the good mental health person. Emotional stability. Emotional intelligence plays a major role. How the emotion of self and how the emotions of the others can be managed, how the emotions can be regulated. So those things matter a lot in the general life, right? So that factor, emotional stability, is very much important with respect to the mental health. The mentally healthy person will be having good emotional stability. Okay, get along with people. So people who are mentally healthy will be very much adjustable, and they will be easy to mingle with others, right? They will be taking a little bit effort to mingle with others. They will share things, right? So that particular character we can easily see from the mentally healthy person. And mental health persons, they are knowing their self, they are knowing their plus and minus, and they will be able to take their decisions individually. They will not, they will take suggestions and help from others, but they will not, the decision will be from their own only. They will not allow others to take decisions, right? This trait we can see from the mental healthy person. And the reality living. So in the world of imagination and fantasy, there is less scope for the mental healthy people. They will live in a reality world. Okay, safety and security. Okay, this one, they'll to a group they are there, right? So a mental health person belongs to a particular group, and he'll feel safe and secured in his group and that environment altogether. At the same time, he is liked by others. Also, he like all the others. So this safety and security we can easily see from the mentally healthy person. Loyal. The person possesses a sense of belongingness. He has the ownership. He has a good loyalty towards a particular thing. Okay. So so at the same time he is loyal. At the same time he shows loyalty in the group he or she belongs. Boldly facing failures. Okay, the failure, managing the failures. How it can be, the person who is having failures, he will not go bad. He, a mental health person, he takes that as a challenge. He works on that. He makes the recovery plans and all. He will consider the failures and mistakes as a stepping stone, and he treats that as a learning, and he goes further. That's how the mentally healthy person who is coming, who comes over the failures. There will not be point of worry. The meaning, there will be worry. Everyone will be having worries and feelings, but that will not deteriorate. Though all those things will be taken as a learning and converted into positive thing. Okay, optimists. The person who is mentally health, he will certainly be self-confident, and he is an optimist. He will not fear for things. He will not be anxious on the new things. He will not resist to change. He will be able to learn new things as and when needed. So in the modern area, every day the technological changes, every day the changes are coming day by day, and people have to adapt to the change. They have to learn things. So all those things, a mentally healthy person will not hesitate to do that. Okay, conflict and the conflict handling is another important area where the mental healthy person, he will not put himself into a problem, unwanted problem. Problems should be always coming from outside, right? Outside, and he tries to solve it. He tries to handle the situation effectively with a steady mind, without giving much importance to the emotional thing. Emotional balance is important here in conflict handling. Okay, private life and the relationship. uh, the mentally healthy person exhibits an excellent adjustment to his bed life with the counterpart. Also, he does have a good drive towards intercourse, but does not, sorry, does not show up any suffer from abnormalities and dissatisfaction, does not look for any unwanted or illegal relationships. This trait also we can expect from a mentally healthy person. Work-life balance. Yeah, this point we have seen multiple times. So the work is nothing but kind of pressure only. We have to consider that as a positive stress, converted into positive stress, that to achieve the life goals and work goals, professional goals, right? At the same time, there should be a balance, life balance, work-life balance should be established. For that, the lifestyle changes should be done. A lot of practices can be followed, mindfulness, yoga. So all these things can be adapted. Okay, job satisfaction. A mentally healthy person will certainly feel good for whatever the work he does. He loves the work. Okay, he is satisfied with profession. If he's not satisfied, he will change the profession, right? He will be loyal, and he will be morally okay to work for the money earned. So that quality we can see. Whoever who is working hard for the hard money they are earning, they are certainly will be having the good mental health. Okay, so these are all the points, around 15 points I put together from different texts. Now we will see a few other points related to mental health person. Okay, we can say this mental health spectrum, everyone will not be having all the qualities positively, right? So towards the positive mental health, people might be lacking one or two problems. So that can be, we can consider as a mental illness. right? So if we see how we can see, there is a wide range of spectrum, and if you have more points towards the positive points, then you have good mental health. Else you have low mental health, we can say. And these things generally we follow the biological, psychological, socio model, right? And we know that psychiatrists say, like, there is a hereditary influencing factor also in the mental health, but at the same time, a mentally healthy person who may have some mental health issue will be taught with how to handle the situations. That's where the role of psychological counselors have. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, so what are the habits that we can have to establish or to continue a good mental health? Is we have to have good friends. That's very much important. Talk to friends. Go to sleep on time. Take correct sleep, 8 hours sleep, 6 to 8 hours sleep, and don't oversleep. And eat well, eat good food, right? Healthy food. Even I mentioned few food for mental health, so those things can be considered. And you can share your feelings with loved ones. You have to be creative. You keep yourself active mentally. Do some work. Engage yourself in some activities. That will be very much important for the good mental health. You should have you should provide good time, ample time towards relaxing. That is very, very much important for good mental health. All the things come across a problem, or come into the converted into problem because of over stress and over anything which is more, which is on the negative side, that becomes a problem. So what we ideally need, a relaxing mechanism. We should have few relaxing mechanisms, right? Even exercises or game, so those things we should have. And needless to say, mindfulness meditations we should adapt. So these are very important factors that contributes to good mental health. Okay. Some other points, like we'll talk about the mental health inventory. Okay, so DSM does not show any mental health questionnaire, but it gives broad category of items that contributes to good mental health, right? So with respect to that, we have standard internationally accepted questionnaires. So one among is Augustine's mental health inventory, that shows a very good result. What it says is daily activities to result in productive activities, healthy relationship, and resilience. Based on these things, the Augustine mental health questionnaire is framed. It has around 60 statements with yes or no options. It measures 6 domains to assess the mental health status of an adult. Okay. So these things like self, emotional experience, cognition, work, social relations, love, and sex. Okay. If once the evaluation is done, any person who is scoring less than 30 may tend to have a low mental health, and the person who are evaluated to have above 30 will be having high mental health. This is a general questionnaire that people follow. This is being adapted in employee selection, placement, counseling, and in other professional areas. Okay. Um, we have other one, Jagdish and Srivastava provided mental health inventory. This is available in online. People can also purchase, I think. This is 20 minutes questionnaire. This is given, and those who are interested can get it from online. Okay, so I think most points I covered. Any questions we have?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for a wonderful and an incredible session. It was very useful and a very meaningful and thoughtful session also. Thank you, sir. And friends, if you have any questions, you may just raise your hands so that I can call out your names. Yes, Manish,
Yeah,
sir. Please go
yeah.
ahead, sir.
Sir, I would like to know, can you give some, tips to improve our mental health?
Okay. So very best thing is like generally that's what we discussed overall altogether. We can follow some habits. Okay, if you are running into a particular problem, you first understand what is the problem, and you have to segregate the problem, and you have to try to come across the problem. If you feel that you are inside the problem, it will be very difficult to come out, right? So you have to view the problem from the outside, then you will be finding thing. Okay, on the other hand, what are the things we can do? The first thing is seeking help. You share your feelings and things to friends and loved ones, right? You will
Hmm.
get a lot of help and information. That can be very easy, but just because you not revealed it, you might not have solved that problem. So these many cases we can see this. Okay, so that sharing that thing is very much important. Apart from that, to improve, the lifestyle challenge changes should be done. So like sleep parameter we have to check, and we have to sleep well, right? Do normal exercises, that is very much important, not only for physical health but also for mental health. This is very much important. And try to adapt some kind of breathing exercises, yoga, mindfulness. This is very very helpful. And
Okay.
some food also matters, right? Like badam, walnut, then vallari, that is, then white lotus tea you can take. White lotus is meant for brain, okay, in traditional
Uh-huh.
medicines. That you can make a kind of tea, then you consume it maybe for around 20 days. You can see the result, immediately. That gives you much more value to your mental health. So those kind of food habits also you can contribute. If people who are having a temporary mental health problem need not resist. People should understand, like mental health issue, or I'm not happy, or for some reason, there is some reason even I can't understand what it is. What should I do? I should consult a psychological counselor. That is a very primary point. And we as counselors, we have to uh, spread the awareness. Mental health awareness should be made. Still, it is very less in India. It should be
Okay.
improved. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
No more questions, friends? Anyhow,
Sir, is there any group? Please add me. To attend the webinars.
Mr.
Yeah, sir will help.
Victory, it is in the messages, it is the group link is there. Join that group also. Ram Shankar Bose may also give a link to you if he's having a separate group. Otherwise, you can join the DPMP group. Link is already in the messages. Verify that. Feedback and link.
Sir,
Okay.
DPMP, he can join. Sir. Please add him.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nice session.
Friends, we are very happy that a wonderful talk Mr. Ram Shankar Bose has given in a very detailed way, very, very detailed way, starting from the beginning, how it has started, things like that. Famous psychologist, psychiatrist name. I think only one name, Viktor Frankl, Viktor Frankl, logotherapy. I think man search for meaning. That also I would have suggested. But wonderful session. Every point is covered. Every doubt is cleared. Therefore, on behalf of all my friends, on behalf of Manasa Subakara Mind Care, 4S Creative Arts, and Yellow Pond Counseling Center, on behalf of myself, Sunanda, and all my people who have come for the program, we are highly thankful to you, Mr. Ram Shankar Bose, for a wonderful session. Hats off to you. Let us give a big clap to him. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends. Hope to see you next Friday.
Thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
going.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, all of you. Wonderful session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.